Because if you only have $10,000 to spend on marketing and to generate 10 clients in the next 30 days, so obviously it's practice specific. Let's just do immigration. Which marketing channel would you invest in, and what would be your strategy?
This is the other thing that I always try to contextualize is like, is this your last 10 grand? Because I would almost, in some circumstances, I would be like, forget about digital, go take some other immigration lawyers out to dinner and like start to get some referral stuff, because in 30 days, it's gonna be pretty tough. If you're in an environment where you can profitably acquire a client through Google Ads, again, a lot of ifs there and a lot of it depends, but the thing that Google has that nobody else has is search intent. And so if you're on queries and they're not costing you more than it's worth to pay for the click, and you can convert them within a target cost per acquisition, search is the shortest. It's the shortest distance, because everything else, brand, it's going to take long. Organic content could take long. So anyway, lots of depends in there. I will say this: I still think if you're not in a competitive area, you're in immigration, and you can find some kind of message and offering that's resonating, search has intent. Everything else is still interruption based.
If I had to answer this question, Guy, my answer would be different. And
yeah, please.
I'm 99% certain I could do it for at least 80% of the practice types with Facebook and Instagram ads.
And would they be direct response? You're saying 30 days you'll be signed up? Correct.
Yeah, direct response. And also, in order for that to happen, you need to have a really good conversion intake team who is a killer at signing up clients. But if you have that, then pretty much almost guarantee it. Any practice type with that budget within the next 30 days, completely possible. In a very systematic approach, especially once I've done it so many times, I already know.
That's another thing. That's another thing I think people should know. People like you that have the data on running it so many times, that's a huge competitive advantage, right? Because you've already done the learning. We see a lot of lawyers will say things like, well, I'm going to run my own stuff. And I'm like, it's an uphill battle, because you're starting with no learning at all, where other folks have been doing this a long time. They've already waded through all the things that don't work. So it's awesome. I think it's a great example.
And that's a great point. A lot of lawyers, you're like, this channel didn't work for me. And it's like, who did it for you? Oh, I did it. And it's almost like a bit of certainty. But for the most part, 80-90% of it, if you're just going in and you're competing with these guys who dedicate their entire life to understanding how Google Ads work, creating different ad groups and high quality scores and optimized landing pages and everything on the back end, it's a very tough game to beat. And the interesting part is, at least not on Google side, at least on Facebook side, Facebook kind of gives you a leg up early on. It's the opposite of Google in a little bit, right? Google, you kind of have to get those quality scores and build up that I guess trust with Google for Google to start increasing your impression share and showing you to more and more people. Facebook, it feels like it's the opposite way. They'll show your ads to the best people who are looking to convert. Your numbers are going to look amazing, but once you scale either past a certain geographic location or past a certain budget, then you kind of go into the real world. And that's where a lot of people kind of struggle beyond the 30 days, kind of scaling beyond the 30 days. So I guess the short answer is it's going to be either Google or Facebook. And you just have to know what you're doing and don't try to figure out yourself.
Definitely ads. Definitely ads of some kind.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too. Everybody, it's like you were saying, like everybody's like, Google ads doesn't work. And I tried social ads and they don't work. And it's like, do you think that all these people are just continuing to spend money if it's not working? And so anyway, I think it's a really, really important point to realize. But because right now I feel like we're in this world of like, and again, no offense to anybody everybody does it their own way, but there's a lot of like brand and coaching, and it takes time to build brand. Brand doesn't happen overnight. At least, again, you tell me I'm wrong, but for someone to be like looking for you to circumvent the whole system, like your name is in their head, that takes some time in most instances. And so
somebody added to that question about this $10,000 to spend. It's like, I would ask about those firms that are scaling and have a higher budget. So how would this answer change if somebody's already at 30 clients a month and is looking to scale to like 60 clients a month? Obviously with a lot of nuances, but what are those things that you're kind of looking for?
Yeah, I'm always trying to test into new channels. And the other thing too that I think is important for people to realize is that the incremental cost of acquiring a client as you scale, it tends to get incrementally more expensive as you scale. This is why when you see like the Morgan & Morgans of the world, they're spending, they want to be everywhere all the time because they're purely like, they don't even want you to go to Facebook to look for them. They're like, oh yeah, when I'm in a car accident, I'm thinking Morgan & Morgan. And so that incremental growth. Now, again, you're talking about like they claim they're the biggest law firm in the country. So when you're talking about that kind of size, to continue to feed the machine, like the incremental cost to acquire clients tends to go up. But when you're kind of in that middle area, it's testing new things. But the big thing for me too is that we've seen so much value in how these channels work together, because again, while some people do click, call, hire, or click, fill out a form, hire, a lot of people don't. They're shopping. And so that multi-channel where it's like you show them an ad, they click, you retarget them, they see you again on their local newspaper, they see you again in their email, they see you again on another platform. That stuff works really, really well. And so I think as you start to grow, like that's the thing to figure out, is like this integrated approach.
What marketing channel would you invest the most money on right now?
Again, speaking for myself, and I'm counting time as money, I'm in on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn took a while to catch on, but the thing that LinkedIn has is, especially if you're like, I'm a B2B person, because we sell to lawyers. So if you're a lawyer and you're a B2B lawyer, so you work with companies are your clients, or general counsels your clients, or other lawyers are your clients, or whatever. LinkedIn has the business intent. People are there to professionally network. Now, again, you can get reach, TikTok for reach, but in terms of like actual engagement with business intent that people expect to get business content and have conversations like that, it's tough to beat LinkedIn in my experience. Reddit's great, and I will tell you, because of this, that article I mentioned before, Google Enough, Google is surfacing forum and discussion content at a really, really high rate right now. And so Reddit and Quora, and I would say vertical specific publishing sites, so like those forum sites are really enjoying a lot of search visibility. So I think that those are fantastic places to be, and trying to understand which subreddits and which threads are appearing. It's kind of the same thing we talked about in the old days, is go look for your target query universe, like if you frequently asked questions that people that are looking for you might ask, see what sites are surfacing and go spend some time there. And this is the problem, right? And in fact, someone was just saying this to me the other day, because I was posting this on LinkedIn. It's like, oh great, just one more thing for me to post on. And so I say all these things based on like, hey, there's visibility here and all this good stuff, but resource deployment and trying to prioritize your resources, that's why it's like you got to take inventory of like how much time and money you're going to spend on this stuff first, and that should inform where you go. Because if you've got limited time and limited money, I'd rather concentrate than try to like be everywhere all the time. Like it's a different style of growth and marketing and different phase depending on where you are in your kind of growth journey, I guess.